Good day, grade 12s. Welcome to today's session. My name is Ms. Mkhovane from Unati High School. Today I'll be taking you through Agricultural Sciences Paper 1 based on the problematic areas that we identify in the trial examination item analysis. In question 2, these are the areas that were identified. So in question 2, we have components of feed, we have digestibility of feeds, we have energy value of feeds, and we have fodder flow. So for the components of feed, you must be able to define components of feed. What does the term components of feed means? It simply means that it's what the feed is composed of. There is a schematic representation on the board that the feed is composed of two items. This is the feed there, and the feed is composed of two items, which is the dry matter and water. So dry matter is divided into two. You are given here that this part of the dry matter is called organic component part of the dry matter, and the one that is not given here is the inorganic part of the dry matter. And then the inorganic part of the dry matter, you must know, though it's not shown in this diagram, that it also, the example now is the what? The minerals. Then coming now to the organic part of the dry matter, we have B, which is not labeled here. I'm going to tell you now. And secondly, we have lipids, and then we have vitamins, and we have C that is not labeled, but we are given an example. So in B, we have proteins. And then in C, we have carbohydrates. So you must know these components of the dry material, that the dry material has got the what? The organic components, which is the proteins, the lipids, the vitamins, and carbohydrates. And the organic components of the inorganic components of the feed is the minerals. The examples of minerals are calcium, iron, magnesium, etc. and etc. And here you must know the functions of this component. By functions of protein, for example, protein is used for growth, protein is used for production, protein is used for reproduction. Secondly, fats. What are the functions of fats or lipids? Fats are for energy. Fats act as insulators. And some functions of vitamins, for example, vitamin A for healthy vision. And carbohydrates, some of the functions of carbohydrates are, it is for energy, it gives the animals energy, and it also fattens the animals. It fattens the animals. Now the inorganic components of feeds, which is the what? This part. Example are the what? Are the minerals. You must know all the minerals. I said you have calcium, you have iron, magnesium, etc. etc. Lastly, functions of water are also important. You must know the functions of water in animal nutrition. For example, water is used for you act as a solvent. Water takes part in the chemical reaction that takes place in the body of an animal. So that is all about the components of feed. It was not well answered when it was compared to other questions in question 2. Secondly, I'm going to come to digestibility of feeds. What is important here is that you must know the definition of the digestibility of feed. How do we define it? We say digestibility is that part of the feed that is digested and absorbed and not excreted. We have another definition which is called digestibility coefficient, which is also the part of the feed that is digested and absorbed. And it is expressed as a what? As a percentage. So it's simple learning the same definition for two concepts, but you have to know that when you are talking about digestibility coefficient, then you have to put that end part that it is expressed as a what? As a percentage. Another important item that you have to look at here is the formula and the unit. You must write the correct formula for the digestibility coefficients. I will write it now. The formula for digestibility coefficients, we say DC is equal to DM intake minus DM excreted over DM intake times 100. If your formula does not have times 100, it's incorrect. If your formula does not have digestibility coefficient is equal to, that's also incorrect. Make sure that you write the correct formula when you are writing your final examinations. And then at the end of this calculation, the unit that we use is percentage, not kgs. I will run through the next item in question 2. So in question 2, we also have energy value of feed. For energy value of feed, you must know that the unit that is used for energy value of feed is joules or megajoules or kilojoules. And then the formulas for calculating each and energy value of feed, you must know the sequence of the energy value that you have a term that we call Gede me ne. Ge stands for gross energy. De stands for digestible energy. Me stands for metabolic energy. And ne stands for net energy. You are always going to be given gross energy and other energy losses, maybe energy loss through feces, energy loss through gases and urine, and energy loss through heat. So the formula for digestible energy is DE is equal to GE minus feces. The formula for metabolic energy is equal to DE minus urine and gases. So it's the energy that is lost through urine and gases. And NE is equal to ME minus heat. You see, once you get your digestible energy, you are able to calculate your metabolic energy. Once you get your metabolic energy, you are able to calculate your what? Your net energy. Or there's another formula that where you can minus everything from gross. For example, here for metabolic energy, you can say metabolic energy is equal to gross energy instead of digestible energy minus energy lost through feces minus energy lost through urine and gases. And also for net energy, you can say net energy is equal to gross energy minus energy lost through feces minus energy lost through urine and gases and minus energy lost through heat. Another item that you have to know with regards to energy value of feed is you must know the reasons now for calculating energy value of feeds or for knowing energy value of feed. With number 1, animals diet. You want to know the animals diet. You want to know the feeding standard of the animal. You want to formulate the ration of the animals. Animals ration. So yeah, so that's the reasons for knowing the energy value of feed. And lastly now, the functions of net energy are production and maintenance. maintenance. So that's all about energy value. I will quickly go to fodder flow. So for fodder flow, what is important is to know the feed required, how to calculate feed required. So the formula for feed required is, you write it like this. You will be given all these values in your question paper. You just have to read your question paper and understand it. So the formula for feed required, I will just write FR is equal to intake, daily intake, times number of animals times duration. So you'll be given, for example, the question paper can say you have 50 animals and each animal eats 2 kg a day. Calculate the feed required by this animal for January. So you have already been given that these animals eat 2 kg. So their intake would be 2 kg times 50 animals. So 2 times 50, which is equal to 100, and times 31 days of January, and then you get your correct answer in what? In kgs. So that will be your how you calculate your feed required. And then what else can you be asked? You can also be asked to calculate shortage or surplus. A simple way to get a feed shortage or feed surplus is to say shortage or surplus is equal to feed available minus feed required. Then you'll be able to see if this farm has got a shortage or surplus. Another important item you have to remember here are the conversion of quantities of units. You have to know sometimes you'll be given the feed in kgs and you have to convert it to tons, or you'll be given in what? In tons, and you have to convert it into what? Into kg. So the kgs, if you are given like a 50 kg, you have to do what? In order to take it to tons, you have to do what? You have to divide by 1000. If you have 50 kg, then you have to take it to tons. You have to divide by 1000. And then if you have tons, you have to change them to kg. You have to times by 1000. And then lastly, for the fodder flow, you have to know how to deal with surplus. If you have as we were calculating shortage or surplus, if you have surplus, you have to keep or store the feed or make silage. And lastly, the reasons for doing a fodder flow: number one, safe use of resources. Number two, manageability. Number three, animal feed requirements. Are met. You want to ensure that animal feed requirements are met. So that's the reason for drawing up a fodder flow. So I will go to the next slide, which talks about question 3. The problematic areas in question 3 were learners were not able to identify the production systems that were in question 3. So you must be able to know the 2 types of production system. We have an intensive production system and extensive production systems. So with intensive production system, you know that animals are kept in a small space and there are a large number of animals. They are overcrowded, but their environment is what? Is controlled. They are given a well-balanced diet to increase production. With extensive production system, animals are few in a large area of land, and animals take care of themselves. They go and find food themselves. And then we have to know the examples or types of intensive system, which are the backyard and the free range, whereby animals in free range, they are allowed to roam around freely and as well as in backyard, but at night they are sheltered. So they are not affected by extreme environmental conditions. Together with these farming systems, with this production system, you also have to know the farming systems. We have two farming systems, subsistence and commercial, and or subsistence or small scale, commercial or large scale. With subsistence farming, it's the farming system whereby you only farm to feed your family, and then with commercial farming, you only farm to feed the what? The not feeding, you are farming to produce, you are farming to produce, you are farming profit here. All right, coming to another item that was problematic in the trial examination is the equipment and facilities used in animal handling. Here in my slide, I've got many of them that normally appear in our question papers. Number one, we have the prodder. The prodder, that's how you write it, and it is used to encourage a movement of animals. It is used to encourage an animal to move to the direction that you want it to go to. Secondly, we have the nose pliers. The nose pliers is also used to control animals, especially big animals. So it's also going to lead the animals to the direction that you want it to go to. There is a picture of a nose pliers. And another equipment, we have a halter. The halter is used to tie up animals and also lead the animals like cows to the direction that you want them to go to. And this last one here is the head gate on this slide, or neck clamp. So it's not a head clamp, it's a head gate or neck clamp. Don't confuse the two, because once you write neck gate, it's wrong. Once you write head clamp, it's wrong. So it's head gate or neck clamp. It is used to make the animal stand still. So when you want to administer medication to animal, especially if you want to inject the animal, you put it on the head gate so that the animal can stand still to restrict the movement of the animal when you want to perform a procedure. On my next slide, I have 3 castrating tools. One will be the castrating pliers. This one, we have this castrating pliers. We also have this castrating pliers here. There's the picture of the castrating pliers. We have a badizo. There's a picture of a badizo. We have illustrator. There's a picture of illustrator. So the castrating pliers is used for castration, and the badizo is used for castration, but mainly in old animals, the big bulls And then we have the illustrator that is used to castrate especially young animals. So castration, there's the definition. It is the removal of, removal of testes. So castration is the removal of testes. There, another item there, we have dehorning iron, which is used to remove horns, amapondo, the thing that we call amapondo. Want to remove the horns so that the animals do not injure each other. There we have the electrical clipper for sheep that is used to remove wool in sheep. So on the next slide, I have a hoof trimmer that is used to clip hoofs, and I have an ear tag pliers that is used to clip ear tags on the animals. So ear tags are used for identifying animals. You also have an electric hot knife that is also used for castration and docking. Castration, I already mentioned that it is a procedure whereby the testes are removed. And also you have tail docking. tail docking, meaning that you remove the tail. It's a procedure that you do to prevent blowfly strike, especially in sheep, and also for easier reproduction. So these are the advantages of using electric hot knife. We have this one. It is a safe and easy to use, and it's fast. This is the popular equipment that we use also in our question papers. A crush with a head gate or a squeeze chute. It is used to direct animals, to restrain them for handling. Maybe you are handling them, you want to administer medication. The one here, we have a casting harness that is used to make the animal lie down when you want to make a procedure on the animal. Another tools that we use is the branding iron. There's the picture of a branding iron, and this is used to brand animals to basically for identification, and injection, which is used to inject animals to administer medicine. We have scissors that are used for cutting the wool of sheep to prevent blowfly, and we also have a drenching gun that is used to administer liquid medication through the mouth. We have a bowling gun that is used to administer pills or tablets through the mouth. And another item that we have to talk about here in question 3 are the facilities that you find in animal production systems. One I highlighted here is heaters that are used to increase temperatures, air cons that are used to increase temperatures or lower down temperatures, and infrared lights that are used to provide heat for the animals. We also have fans that are used to cool down the temperature, insulating material that is used to increase temperature, and ventilators are also used in temperature regulation in the housing of animals. Lastly, for question 3, the one other problematic area where the parasites, there are 2 types of parasites. We have internal parasite and external parasite. Examples of internal parasites are the tapeworm, liver fluke, roundworm. Examples of external parasites, ticks. Sorry about that. We have ticks. We also have mites. We have blowfly, nasal worm, and lice. I won't go much on this because I don't have enough time, but mostly on the mites, you must know. Remember that mites are microscopic, meaning that you cannot see with your naked eye. And that's it for today, grade 12s. See you on the next session when we deal with other problematic areas that we identified in the trial examinations. Thank you.